He was very appreciative.
The time is now 6:45, and I'll call the Parks and Recreation Committee meeting to order. I have Justin Scott to speak on the bids for the Rocket Park Pavilion.
Thank you. So we, as you know, if you don't, I encourage you to go to Rocket Park. We have installed a brand new playground, thanks to Public Works. And we've put playground chips down borders. I was actually down there last week and had some kids just going wild on this thing, so it was so cool. But that's beside the point. I'm here to talk about pavilions. So we have 4 small pavilions that are down there now that have single picnic tables under them. And our goal was to come in there and rip those up. We would like to lay down 2 new pavilions. These will be 20 by 20 pavilions with like a 24 by 24 pad. Public Works is going to do the pour. But when we started getting pricing, we knew we were going to have to bid this out. So we ended up bidding this out. These are metal structures with metal roofs. We're looking at sometime around spring of 2026 for the demo of the pads and the pavilions to be installed. We did receive 3 bids during this process. Recreation Concepts came in at $57,609.55. Larsoneer LLC came in at $58,500. And Carolina Rec and Design came in at $83,966.75. Just to recap, this is part of the local LPRF grant, Local Parks and Recreation Fund grant. Again, thanks to Lyndon for applying for that and getting that. $115,000 was awarded with a match of $115,000, which totaled $230,000 for the project. But the pavilions were included in going towards the capital purchase. And so it is my recommendation to recommend Rec Concepts for the $57,609.55 for the 2 20 by 20 pavilions. These are going to be great. We get to pick the color scheme, so the color of the frame, the metal frame, the color of the roof. We'd like to match it to what we currently have down there with the Rocket Park Clubhouse and just tie it all together and make it look uniform. We are going to put, with a 20 by 20 pad, we are looking at putting a few more picnic tables on that spot and a grill at each one of those. So 2 families could be there. They're not going to be side by side. These are going to be offset pavilions, so you won't feel like you're sitting on top of somebody.
Great. Does anybody have any questions for Justin?
Let's do a recap there real quick. These are in the budget and part of the local Parks and Rec grant.
Yes, sir.
The total.
The total, so we were awarded $115,000 with a match of $115,000. The total was $230,000, and $116,000 of that grant funding went towards capital purchases, which included the 2 pavilions. We still have more things that we're going to obviously do down there with paving, reconstruction of the tennis court. So we have a lot more that we're going to have to try to do with this funding. But this was a project that we wanted to go ahead and get done. This will kind of fall in our timeline as far as in 2026, in the spring of 2026, this will be perfect for us. Obviously, people are not renting pavilions. Well, they may be today with what, 72 degrees. But this isn't the time of the year that people typically rent. So we thought, we could push this to 2026 and get this done.
Sounds great. Do I hear a motion to approve this to send before the full board?
I'll make a motion to
Okay.
approve.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now on to B, the bid for the Milner Center sound system.
Absolutely. So I've been talking about a sound system for a while. This is something that we desperately need. To just give you a prime example, we have the Arts and Craft Fair that's here this weekend. They obviously want a sound system. I am currently renting a sound system to provide for them so they can make announcements, and we can also play Christmas music during the the rental. But we obviously need this. This is in our capital projects. We did have a mandatory site visit on the 29th of October, and we opened the bids on November 10th. We received one bid, and that was from the sound machine for $19,009. I had budgeted $19,150. I believe I can find that additional $750 somewhere in my budget to make that work. What this is gonna look like is there's gonna be from the catwalk, there's gonna be speakers that are gonna be suspended over the arena. We're gonna have a cabinet, which is similar to probably what's behind back there, that's gonna have our amplifiers, our receivers, everything on it, transmitters, and it will, it'll be portable. I can move it throughout the gymnasium, but I wanted just basically a plug and play. I wanted to hit the power button, turn on the microphone, and start speaking. Make it very simple, but it's also adaptable. So if someone with a small band wants to come in and plug into it, I'll have plenty of ports there to push it. We're talking 8 large PV speakers with plenty of power. I did have Joe Harvey come and also look at the project to make sure that I was meeting the demand of the space and what we have, because it's a lot of space. I also want something that sounds good and it's quality.
I think as many events as you have there, the gala and different things, sound system is,
Absolutely, and I'm looking at January-ish for this to be installed, which will be great for our spring rentals. We have those bigger events in the spring, so.
any questions?
No, he answered my question because it is such a large space. I was like, how do you know? But if you've had people come and take a look at it then, and you feel comfortable with it, then I'm good. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. And C, we have the naming of the park at the end of Potter Lane.
Okay, I can take this one.
Okay.
Let me get this started here. So, I think we're all familiar with the Potter Lane project over at the end of Potter Lane. It's a multiple purpose, but its main purpose was to address stormwater in the area. Secondary purposes are educational, environmental, and rec benefits. So this is a general idea of where the property is. There we go, right here. You can see these arrows show the stormwater flow coming from the Milner Rec Center and also from the south, which is Garfield Street, straight through this property, ultimately down to the intersection of Chancery and Smithville Highway. So we looked at acquiring these two properties, and we did so with the cooperation of the property owners who are here right now, Jimmy and Barb Potter. So their property is the yellow highlighted property on this map here. What used to be a house will now be a stormwater detention pond. But this is the plan for going forward. You can see the orchard here in the back, which was through the TUF grant that Lyndon got for us, and the whole project is being done with the grant. So I think is there a match?
Yes.
Maybe $10,000 or something?
It's 15% or 10, no, it's 5%, probably it's 5%.
Okay, it's a small amount, but they're out there working now, making progress, maybe halfway done.
I'd say they're about 33% done right now. They got stopped on There was a big storm or a sewer drain that they're having to deal with.
Yeah.
That they, and then they need a pole removed, utility pole removed.
Okay.
Slowing down to.
So that project is in the works, and we just, in talking with Mr. Potter, you know, just going over the history of the property. It's been in the Potter family for 50 years. Originally purchased by Elnora, known as Nora Potter. That's your mother. In 1970. Formerly, the street was named West Side Street, so that's interesting. Renamed to Potter Lane during 911 addressing. Do you know when that was?
Oh, no, it was several years ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
But now this property will be part of our park system. So the proposal is that we name the park Nora Park after Nora Potter. And we think it's very fitting, and we would invite the Potters up to say a few words if you would like. If not, I've shared this information with everyone, and it's a good story.
I read what you put on your information, and you did a great job. So.
Well,
I think you covered it.
I copied and pasted, so
Yeah.
you did great. So I guess my question is, would you support naming this park Nora Park going forward?
I think it's very fitting.
I do too. Yeah, for sure. Is that something we call for a vote on, or we,
Might as well, wouldn't
Okay.
hurt.
all right?
Is this just Parks and Rec though?
Yes.
So we have
So
a motion?
I'll make a motion that we recommend to the full board that we name the new park on Potter Lane, Nora Park.
So does it go to the full board, or is it?
This is my first park naming project, so I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Just in case.
Okay, just
Yeah.
in case, absolutely, yes.
I'll
So-
second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
Very good. There's no other business for the Parks and Recreation Committee. We will stand adjourned.
It's 7 o'clock. We will call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the McMinnville City Board of Mayor and Aldermen. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Sally Brock is absent. Deidre Dunlap.
Present.
Steve Harvey.
Here.
Rachel Kirby.
Here.
Carrie Morton.
Here.
Carrie Youngblood.
Here.
Mayor Chastain.
Present. Item 2 is the consent agenda, including the minutes from the October 28th regular session. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Deidre Dunlap,
Second.
second by Ms. Carrie Morton. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 3 is recognition of visitors. If anyone wishes to address the board, please come on up and state your name for the record.
Hi, everybody. My name is Marissa Chapman, the interim director at Magnus Library. I came in today to, one, introduce myself to the ones who don't know me. To the ones that do, hi. I dropped off something at each one of y'all. I'm probably going to say a lot because I'm really nervous. This is only my second time doing anything like this. I really just wanted to highlight just a couple of things. You know, our story time, we added a third one a week, and we're already growing even from that over the last couple of weeks. It's crazy. I love it, though. I did want to extend an invitation to everyone that's here, including anybody back here that wants to come in and wants to read to our kids. I would absolutely love for y'all to do it. Y'all could have a blast with these little 3- and 4-year-olds, mostly. We have some youngers and some that are older, and they would eat up anybody coming to read to them. But I do have a calendar here if y'all want to do it. If not tonight and you want to email me, please do so. My email's at the bottom. And I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can with if that date works or not. But it is usually Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then besides that, you know, y'all can read over the sheet, but I just wanted to know if y'all have any questions for me. Anything about the library or myself or anything.
My grandchildren loved your story time.
Thank you.
Mine do too.
Thank you.
And I do too.
We have a blast. I love it. Anything else?
My kids love the playroom, the little kids' room.
Thank you. We're constantly trying to update it and get new puzzles and stuff. We have so many kids that will come in and they're like, we've done all of these so many times. And I'm like, okay, I'll find more. We'll find more. Let's go buy some more. So it's fun.
I see that you had a local authors day.
Yes.
Do you all do like workshops and things like that as well for people?
So we don't necessarily, but we have a group that is called the Writer's Prologue, and they meet the first Saturday of the month at the library.
Okay.
We usually try to make sure to let everybody know that it's happening. They sometimes cancel last second, so I always give them the email to the lady who's over it. But they help with everything from writing to publishing and all of that.
That's really neat. That's a resource I didn't realize that you provided, so thank you.
Of course. Okay, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, and if you can hand that to us, I'll pass it around.
Item 4 is petitions. There are none. Item 5 is discussion items. Item 5A is the adoption of an administrative hearing officer.
Good evening. So I just wanted to run it by you to possibly adopt a administrative hearing officer. Essentially, they kind of act somewhat similar to a judge. They are not limited to the $50 fine that the city judge is currently limited to. For residential property that is owner occupied is $500 per the violation. For all other property is $500 per violation per day. And so the thought process with this is I'm going down to talk to the city town of Morrison on December 1st. I would act as Morrison's administrative hearing officer. Their building official would act as ours. And then we can do that, swap those services, and it'd be no cost to either city. And then we gain that additional tool for code enforcement.
So you're limited to $500 per day?
If it's non-residential property, $500 per violation per day. So as it goes through the process, they'd have to have the hearing, the fines get assessed, they have to be given a minimum of 10 days, a maximum of 120 days to come into compliance. If they come into compliance, the fees are off the table at that point. If they don't, then those fees would be assessed. But with it, they are remedial fees, not punitive, so they're meant to compel them to come into compliance, not necessarily put a slap on them for not being in compliance.
And so the judge will have the authority to decide how many days they get to come into.
Like, so we have to give 10 to 120, 10 is the
Right.
minimum. It'd be based on all the factors of how much stuff is there, what all the elements are tied to that, to within that range, yeah.
So where would we know about this? Would we be, how would we keep up with this? What's going on with you? Like,
I can do this as far as that goes. We can give you guys an update on staff reports I can send out. We can let you know as far as what's going on with this. Like I said, I'm set to go to Morrison December 1st, see if they want to go into this. And then we can kind of sort it out from there, and then be coming up with the ordinance to the full board for adoption of that.
would they come to our board meetings to?
No.
It's
This would just-
strictly with
We get
you.
the case, we get the citation, we send it to the administrative hearing officer, they review it, they would set the hearing date. Same thing for Morrison, they would send it to me, I would set that hearing date, and then we come and take care of it from there.
So do you already know who that person is in Morrison?
That is Stan Phillips.
Stan Phillips?
Yep.
So these are reasonable, like you would give them reasonable amounts of times depending on
Yeah,
the
we can make sure we
circumstances?
give reasonably much time.
Can you give us an overview of the ordinances that they would be enforcing?
So
that
we
would
can
cover-
enforce all the adopted building codes, plumbing code, mechanical codes, fire codes, zoning code, animal ordinances, all of those adopted codes we could enforce under the NHL.
Okay.
And there's no appeal above that?
It has to go through the courts, they can
To the
appeal to the
courts.
court
Goes
process
from
if
there
they
to the
wanted
court
to do
system.
that.
Chancery.
Chancery Court.
There's a commission created.
Not under this AHO,
No,
that's the next one coming up.
oh, I'm sorry, I spoke out of turn.
But right now, it's just fact, I mean, we're not need any action. I mean, 'cause
No,
there's
I just wanted to discuss it, and see if you guys
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to kind of move forward with it. I didn't want to get too far in advance and talk to Morrison, I didn't want to talk to Morrison outside of making you guys aware.
I
of
think
working
I think
through
it's a
this,
good
so.
idea. There's a lot of things that need to be enforced that are not currently. So I don't have an issue with it.
Can I add one thing? MTS did a great beginner's guide to Tennessee slum clearance that I can share with you.
Please.
And there's a really great 4-page summary of the whole undertaking.
Nice.
And I'll share that with you by email.
Please.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd just say proceed and engage them in Morrison and then let us know.
Okay.
So we've never had this before and Morrison hasn't either?
No. So
They're
there's a
building
few,
up their
there's a few
responsibilities.
cities that do it, I think there's
Yeah.
about probably 10 that do it that I'm aware of.
And that-
Sounds good.
That just comes with your jobs now? There's no more payment? I mean,
No,
this just
they're-
comes with your job?
Yeah, they're minimum. Yep.
So
Would it
this
be-
is, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just
Uh,
asking if it would be once a month, or how often would you have the court?
It would depend on how many cold cases we get set up, so it could be one, maybe a meeting a month,
Okay.
probably at max, but it would just depend on how many cold cases each city would have on that.
Sorry, Nolan, go ahead.
No, no problem. So we currently take cases to court, to municipal court. So this would take some of that off of the municipal court and put it into a new forum. So it's not really additional work, it's just moving who hears the
Shuffling it, yeah.
the cases.
Sounds good to us. I guess.
All right, next one, TCA Title 13, Chapter 1, Slum Clearance Act. What we're looking to do, adopt this is Part 2. What this does is provides a complete path from if we have trouble properties, vacant properties, houses, other properties, commercial that are falling apart, haven't been maintained. This would provide a path by setting up a commission And the ordinance that the commission would consist of 7 people. It's broke down by neighborhood, so we would have equal representation across the city. We would get the properties, they would be notified, that would put on a list, that would go to that commission. They would review it, make sure it meets all the requirements, give the property owner additional time to fix it, 90 days. If not, then they can recommend that it come to this board. Then, if you guys find that it meets all that criteria and wish to proceed forward, then we can pursue eminent domain and take over that property, get that building removed, sell it, and spur that redevelopment. Well, currently, we can address the property, but if we don't have that means to get it, we've had quite a few where we've been mowing for quite a few years, it doesn't go up for tax sale, then we're kind of eating, taking care of that property and not getting that tax revenue or that redevelopment on that. So this would fill in that gap.
Do you have a lot of those on the books that are,
There's a fair amount of property that we can get on there. I know we got at least 3 that we're mowing pretty regularly, so.
are those people just not wanting to be compliant, or
A
they
lot
don't
of
have
them
the
are,
means to be compliant?
I think some of them, the property owner has passed away, it never changed hands. We have some that are just vacant property owners, so they're out of city or out of town, out of state, that type of thing, so.
Because I know you guys worked with a property on a street that I know of, and you worked with the owners, and that, of course, and it was, you know, this one died, then it went to this one,
Yeah.
but, you know, that's finally all washed itself out, so.
Yeah.
I do feel like you guys are fair in trying to help these property owners get their places to where they need to get, but I
Yes.
just know that some won't be compliant.
No, and this would be in
Regardless.
addition to, and like I said, there's very specific criteria that have to be met in order for it to proceed through the process. And so it would be select properties, it wouldn't be just from a general standpoint. So,
Any further questions in that regard?
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All right, any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
all right, last one is adoption of Title 6, Chapter 54, 113. This is for cleaning up properties. So this would expedite our process, shorten it down. We have to give a minimum of 10 days or 20 days if they meet certain employment criteria. Our basis is going to be use of 20 days as we don't necessarily know if they are engaged in transportation or communication. We don't know what everybody does. So we'll give them 20 days. They have a right to a hearing. If they don't go to that hearing or if that hearing occurs and it maintains, then we can enter onto the property, clean up the property, and then we will add that, file a lien and then add that lien to the tax rolls. Currently, our process is we file a lien with the clerk at the county. Hopefully we get it if it sells. A lot of these transfer under different types of deeds where there's not a title search. So that doesn't come up and we don't always recoup that cost associated with cleaning up the properties. If we can put it on the tax roll, we're gonna have a much better opportunity to recoup those costs.
For the record, we were still under item 5, discussion items, and we've now gone down into the action items, so we'll have to vote on that by a roll call again in a minute.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Do you want to back up and do that now?
Well, no, because there's something else we've got to discuss
Oh, okay.
under discussion items that's not on here. Item 5B is a request by McMinnville Special Games to host the Sprints for Specials on April 25th of next year. I have the letter for the record in my email, but the request has already been cleared by law enforcement on the city and county side in terms of the route. No issues with that, Chief. All right, so if there's any questions for the McMinnville Special Games representatives, they are here. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve their letter to host their race.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Morton,
Second.
second by Mr. Harvey. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So now we move down into item 6 regarding ordinances number 2025-22 and 23.
22 was the first one, slim clearance, so.
Yeah, so in regards to the motion that Mr. Harvey made, we'll have to do a roll call vote for that. So we had a motion and a second. So now we'll call for the vote.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Rachel Kirby.
Yes.
Carrie Morton.
Yes.
Carrie Youngblood.
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. And then now we'll proceed into item 2025-23.
Yes, like I said, this one just shortens that time frame, gets us cleaned up, put that lien on the tax roll so that we have a better chance of recouping those costs.
All right. I have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Youngblood, second by Ms. Morton. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Deidre Dunlap,
Aye.
Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Rachel Kirby.
Yes.
Carrie Morton.
Yes.
Carrie Youngblood.
Yes.
Mayor Chastain.
Aye, motion passes. Item 7 is recognition of employees and departmental reports. If anybody has anything for the board, come on up.
Yes, I'll come on. All right, Saturday, we had an adoption event at Tractor Supply. We showcased 4 dogs, one of which got adopted, Lucky, 8-month-old little pup. So he got adopted. We probably had about 30 or 40 people show up to it and see the dogs and everything. We got some monetary donations. It was great all around, and we hope to continue having those on a monthly basis and everything. Pavement condition index, I talked to Garber today. It has been completed. They're gathering the raw data, and we should have the results coming right after Thanksgiving. At that point, I'll host, or I'll have a presentation for you all, run you through everything and the plan for paving going forward. Let's see here, Christmas lights should be finished and put up on Friday. We had over 100,000 lights put up this year. It should be a great Christmas and an excellent, showcase of what we have done. I think that's about, Potter Lane. Potter Lane, about 33% have been done. They've done the pavilion and the seating, and then they're really working on the ponds. As I said previously, there was a big sewer line that's vacant that was in there, and we're gonna cap it and get rid of it. And then there's a utility pole. We're waiting for one utility to come and remove their line, and we'll move the pole, and they'll be good and continue forward with that. But the pond is what they're working on right now. It's quite large, a lot larger than I expected, actually.
And deep?
Yes, yes, I've walked in it. It's quite deep, and you get stuck if you're not careful. Found that the hard way. So everything's moving along quite well.
The paving on Hill and all that?
We've already done all the
It's all
paving
done.
on that. Yeah, everything went well.
Perfect.
No problems there. Yeah, that's it.
Wanted to mention again, the 54th Annual Warren County Arts and Craft Fair is this weekend. Begins Friday at 10 a.m. and closes at 8, and then Saturday from 10 to 6, free admission. Our employee luncheon, December 4th at the Milner, starts at 12:30. Encourage you to be there. We also have our Christmas parade that weekend, which will be Saturday, December 6th at 2 p.m. Renee's been working hard on that. And if you haven't visited the Park Theater website, I encourage you to do so. There's a lot of events going on right there. Joe and Ashley are super busy right now, but it starts this weekend, I think, through December 19th. There's like just show after show. So encourage you to check that out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Just want to give y'all an update on how our flock camera system's working with LPRs. We've had, a lot of successes with it. Recovered stolen vehicles. We had a trailer from Wilson County, and we get the alerts when it comes through in the city. Since we've had them put up, if there's anything entered, and we've had missing persons located. We had the most recent one was a man from Indiana that'd been reported missing a week prior. And we got the alert on our system that he was going up and down the road. So we had our officers out trying to find him. And then one of our officers that lives in Cooper was headed home and got behind him in White County. And they worked with him and got him stopped and got him back to where he belonged, so that was really good. He's, you know, had some dementia, just really didn't know where he was at, so. You know, and that happened, so it's done very well, and continues to do so. We get, because the officers will get the alert whether they're on duty or off, and then they'll look at it and call in and stuff. So I just wanted to give you an update on that.
Awesome,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Main, do you have anything for the board?
Well, I guess, Jordan, did you want to talk about the Levitt Amp concert series announcement? That was really the only thing I had. I thought that was pretty exciting.
That is exciting.
It is, very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah, so this was something that Jennifer Flatt Meredith with Main Street McMinnville and I had co-put in an application for this music series through the Levitt Foundation. And it was kind of a long process. As you might remember, we had to go through a voting process with the community. And after the voting process and putting in letters of support, we were awarded that this morning. So that's, again, a 6-year or a 3-year concert series. We'll have 7 per year starting in 2026. It'll be in the falls of each year down on the lot. And really the heart of it is to bring like diversity to the music scene. So we're really looking forward to working with different organizations and maybe some different musical groups that we haven't had in McMinnville before to bring some fun and flavor to the square. So thank you to everyone that voted for that. We appreciate you.
Thank you. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
Awesome.
Mr. Hurdle? Nothing. All right, if there's nothing else to come before the board, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you all.
That was very exciting.